Welcome everyone. My name is Chelsea Kennedy and I am the communications lead at Kids & Company. Thank you all for joining us for today's webinar. This webinar is presented in collaboration with Rebelstork, an online marketplace that allows for the buying and selling of overstock, open box, and high quality used baby gear at a reduced price. We are so excited to hear from Rebelstork's founder, Emily Housey. She will break down the concept of the circular economy and introduce us to the idea of parenting later. She will also share some insider tips on baby gear brands that best hold their resale value. If you have any questions throughout the session, please use the Q&A or the chat function at the bottom of your screen, and we will ensure your answers get addressed at the end of the session. Over to you, Emily.
Hi, everybody. Thank you so much for joining. It is so nice to be here. Thank you so much, Kids & Co, for having me. So kind of like what was just introduced, today we're going to talk all about Rebelstork. We're going to talk about the circular economy. We're going to talk about the impact that we have as parents and how we can minimize the burden on the environment for our generation of kids that we have. So I figured at first I'm going to explain to you or tell you a little bit about myself. So I am Emily. I am the founder of Rebelstork. I'm also a mom of two. So I have a 4-year-old boy named Hunter, and then I have a 1.5-year-old daughter named Piper. So it is extraordinarily busy in my household, which I am sure is the same for all of you. And so a little bit, so prior to Rebelstork, because Rebelstork's about 3 years old, we turned 3 this summer. And prior to Rebelstork, my background is in retail. I was a vice president of merchandising for Winners and Marshalls, which is part of the TJ Maxx and Marshalls North American company. And prior to that, I was the vice president of product development for Saks Fifth Avenue, living in New York, all very exciting. And I had this idea when I had my son Hunter and I went on mat leave, and I was trying to sell a piece of baby gear that it was a very expensive piece of baby gear and he didn't like it. And so I was trying to figure out how to sell it, and I didn't have a great experience. And so I came up with the idea for Rebelstork, and here we are now. We have our head offices in Toronto. We have another office out in Vancouver. And then just last week, we launched our US operations with our head office in the United States in East Williamsburg, Brooklyn. So it's been really exciting, a lot of work, but yeah, we're really trying to be a tool for parents and, kind of rethink the way that they purchase and sell their baby gear. So I'll talk to you a little bit about what Rebelstork is. I'll share screen so that you guys can see as I'm talking. Hopefully everybody can see that. So this is Rebelstork. So it is the first tech-driven North American baby gear marketplace to exist, which is very exciting. Seems weird to say that. And it was really created for us. So it was created for, millennial and Gen Z parents, a new generation of socially and fiscally responsible parents who have, a sustainable mindset and are thinking about the environment. So our marketplace is powered by the first and only AI-powered instant resale pricing technology. Her name is Rev. We will go through how she is such a huge benefit to parents and how you guys can use her. And we're really trying to be the go-to destination for reselling and shopping premium resale baby gear, making it a beautiful experience. Every item on our site is vetted before it's listed and quality and condition checked so that when parents purchase, they can be rest assured that they're getting the best of the best baby gear at the best deal in the condition that is expected. I already talked about how we're available across North America. And so our mission is to make parenting lighter. And that was kind of a motto that I came up with when I was starting the company, of how as parents, we are often, there's a weight on our shoulders of all of the things that we need to do. With 72% of Canadian and North American families being dual income, there is not a lot of time in the day when you're trying to, have a job, be a parent, and, also save some time for yourself. So our mission really is to make parenting lighter by having such a great user experience if you're buying or selling your baby gear, so that you can spend all of your extra time with your kids, which is what we all kind of want to be doing versus meeting up with strangers in a parking lot, exchanging cash for baby gear that you don't even know is going to work. So that's kind of what we've done here. We're hoping that Rebelstork is a game-changing way for parents and brands and retailers to reduce their environmental impact. When we say that when you Rebelstork it, whether that's shopping with us or selling with us, you're making the most of your time parenting by harnessing less. So that's a little bit about the company. So we have a marketplace. So this is a screen grab of it live now. So all of the items that are listed for sale, there's a condition. So they're either overstock, open box, or they're used items. You can see what they would be, if you bought them brand new, what the pricing would be. You can see what our price is based on, Rev, which we'll talk about, our AI pricing technology. And you can see the percentage off that you're saving, which is pretty exciting. I get excited by the percentage off because I'm getting such beautiful stuff, but then I'm also saving money, to put towards other things. So it's exciting. So as a buyer, you can expect amazing baby gear deals at up to 80% off normal retail. And as a seller, we offer a selling service, which is really, it's really meant for busy parents who want to take back control of their time. And they know that they've got some really expensive or some great baby gear that their kids have outgrown, and they want to sell it. They want to get it into the hands of another family. But the thought of it is overwhelming. And, the task itself is not necessarily how you want to value your time. So that's kind of, that's the company, I guess, in a nutshell. And yeah, so if you can shop all across Canada and now all across the United States. And our selling service, meaning our seller concierge, which will go to your house and pick up your baby gear to do all of the work for you to get it sold, is available in most of Ontario, almost all of British Columbia, and then the New York and Brooklyn area in the United States. So I guess maybe the most important part, or probably what you guys are all excited to learn about, is, our technology. So we, as I mentioned earlier, we did create the first AI pricing technology in the baby gear resale space. And, when I created it, it was really because I wanted to hopefully shift the mindset of parents when they're purchasing baby gear for their children. I don't know about you, but when I was building a registry for my son, I did it the way most of us do. I went to a full price store. I created this beautiful registry. I had, the stroller of my dreams in there. I had a bassinet. I had all of these things that I, thought that I would need. Then you have your kids and you realize that they're the ones telling you what they like and don't like. So all of your planning has kind of been for naught, but that's how I created the registry for my son. And I spent a lot of money. Like, I think between my baby shower and stuff that we purchased that I didn't receive at the baby shower, we spent around $10,000, and that's very expensive. But the actual average of a North American family is that they're spending $14,000 in that first year of having a child. So my $10,000 isn't even the average; it's below average, but it's still an absurdly high amount of money for baby gear essentials that I didn't even know if my son would like. When I built my registry for my daughter, I used Rev. So I'm going to walk you through our technology. So Rev is available for all parents. And it's your quick and easy resale estimated value guide. So Rev is your quick and easy resale estimated value tool that's available to generate real-time resale value on over 10,000 baby gear models. So basically, you can search the gear that you're looking to buy or sell. You share its story. You tell us a few finite criteria like age and condition, and you can reveal the instant resale value of what that item is worth in the resale industry based on demand, current, real time. So it's pretty cool. So our goal or my dream would be that parents are checking Rev before they buy for their children, as well as when they're thinking about selling their baby gear. And it's really meant to empower you to be an informed shopper. We do know that 44% of Gen Z and millennial parents think about the resale value of an item before they even make that initial purchase. And to me, that is so exciting because it means that we truly are thinking about our footprint. We're thinking about the environment, and we're thinking about how can we spend our money wisely on products that when we're done with them, we can not only make some money back, but that they're going to last, that they were well made so that they can live on for another family to use. So you can use Rev when you're shopping and building registry. So as I mentioned, when I built my registry for my daughter Piper, Rebelstork was already live, Rev was already live. So I built my registry not based on necessarily what I personally wanted. It was based on, if I'm going to spend X amount of dollars, what am I going to make the most money back from in the end when she grows quickly out of these items? And so far, I think I've made some good choices. So let's pretend. So here, if you guys can see, so this is Rev. So I'm going to discover the value of my baby gear. It's my quick and easy resale estimated value index so that we can each be informed shoppers. So let's pretend that I'm purchasing for a registry. I'm building my registry. So I'm going to put in, I think that I want an Up a Baby Vista. Okay, so I'm going to put in the model. I'm going to put in let's do the Cruise. I live downtown, so I do not want something too big. So the Cruise V2 is perfect for me. I'm going to confirm. Okay, so when am I going to sell this? Realistically, I'm going to have this for 3 years. Let's say I'm going to have it for 3 years. By that point, my daughter will be walking. We might want to get a travel stroller. She won't necessarily need such a big stroller. She won't be in it all the time. I'm going to make a conscious effort to keep my stroller in excellent condition. We as a family do not keep any of our strollers outside. We keep them in our shed. So that way they don't, rust, they don't get salt on them. So I'm going to keep it in excellent condition. I'm going to put in my info. Ta-da. So I can see that currently right now, that Up a Baby Cruise V2 stroller has a resale estimated value of $583. So if I were to sell my item on Rebelstork, it would be listed for $583. The stroller itself is, just under $1,000. So to know that I'm buying a $1,000 stroller and that it's worth about $600 in the resale space is a pretty great money back guarantee, I think. So this is how I used our algorithm to build my registry smartly. And I feel like it helped me make some decisions. Not all baby gear holds its value to the same extent. And it really makes you as a parent be mindful of the condition that you keep your items in, taking good care of stuff so that it lasts longer. But it also pushes you to let go of stuff when it's time to sell. So this idea of, I'm going to have one child, I might have another child, I'm not quite sure, I'm going to keep this stroller all the way through, is actually not financially, it's not the strongest decision to make, because the depreciation of the item is going down so quickly that you're almost better off purchasing, using it for your first child, reselling it, getting it back into the circular economy for another family to use. And if you do decide to have another child, then you'll buy the newer technology and, do it all over again. So that's kind of what this tool is meant to show people, is not only when should I be shopping, but what is my item worth when I'm thinking of selling. And this is great. So we did this with our son we traded in his stroller, and we traded up into a double stroller for when my daughter was born. So we needed one that would fit both. And so, using Rev really helped with that, because it's kind of like you're getting money back in your pocket to then trade up into something that's good for your lifestyle for that moment in time. So that's Rev. And I wanted to talk a little bit more about the circular economy. I don't know if everybody knows that term. It's an industry term, and it's becoming more and more popular. You're starting to almost, in the retail industry, everybody is talking about the circular economy, and you're starting to see brands enter into the circular economy, like Lululemon has just launched a resale platform. Patagonia has a resale platform. Levi's has a resale platform. So all of these big apparel companies are really dipping their toe into the circular economy. So when we say circular economy, we mean extending the life cycle of a product. So it means that when you purchase something, knowing that that item is not dead after that initial purchase, that it lives on, and it can be living on for quite some time. And it implies reducing waste, right? So if you make a purchase and you take good care of it and you sell it, or you rent it, or you share it with a friend, you are contributing to the circular economy. So rental, resale, refurbishment, all of these segments of the retail industry are considered circular economy. And it's truly a way for us as consumers to be mindful of it, and to incorporate it into our day-to-day lives, whether it be apparel, whether it be baby gear. But this idea that we can do more with less, and it's better for the environment and for our children. In terms of why the resale industry is such a great fit for the baby space, there's many reasons, but baby gear and baby products actually cause quite a lot of waste. It's one of the most wasteful industries, which is sad when you think, because you're bringing life into the world, but then at the same time, it's not exactly the most sustainable industry by nature. So that's kind of where we're here to help. So there's a lot of plastic packaging. There's a lot of baby gear that's cheaply made. So it doesn't really live on after that initial purchase. The wear and tear is too much. There's a lot of parts that are not recyclable, and then it's quickly outgrown. So, I mean, not only are your kids telling you what they like and what they don't like after the fact that you've already purchased it, but, even a lot of items are outgrown within, 3 months, 6 months sometimes. So there's, an item like a bassinet, for example, that is purchased at full price. You can technically resell it 2 times in the resale economy for every year for that one initial purchase, because you only use it for 6 months. So the past year, 48% of Americans purchased 1 or more resale items, and that's very exciting. That's the highest that it's ever been. It's an all-time high. And what's also exciting is that millennial and Gen Z parents are 2.5 times more likely to purchase resale than any other generation. So it really means that this consumer mindset of being environmentally friendly is extraordinarily important to our generation of parents, but it's only just going to keep growing, which is exciting. And, we love the fact that 44% of parents today are thinking about the resale value of their baby gear before making an initial purchase, because yet again, that indicates that there is this environmental and sustainability mindset that exists, which is, great to hear. Does anybody, well, I guess we'll be taking questions at the end. So now we're going to get on to the exciting part. I'm going to stop sharing my screen, and let's talk about what makes a brand retain its value in the resale space. So, I mean, if I had the answer, I feel like brands all over the world would be knocking on my door to find out how that is the case. But it really is a classic case of supply and demand. So there are brands that are in extraordinary high demand, And especially with global supply chain issues from the past year, they're worth a lot in the resale market. So, you know, they're constantly changing. Demand can stem from not only supply chain, it can stem from what the impact that it has on your life as a parent. So, you know, anything sleep tech, anything that can help a parent sleep better because it's providing aid to a baby is an extraordinarily high demand. So an example of that would be the Happiest Baby snoo. They are extraordinarily expensive. They're $1,800 Canadian, but they hold an extraordinarily high resale value of upwards of $1,300. So you're not really spending $1,800 because you're going to make, you can list it for $1,300 to get that money back when you're done using it. Other brands that hold a very high retained value are brands where the lifespan is long. So gear that really holds up through the test of time. Example, strollers. So strollers do hold a very high retained value. You are better off as a parent investing in a really great stroller, a stroller with wheels and the ability to clean its parts is extraordinarily important for resale value. And I would say the other thing is when you're looking to buy baby gear, cheaply made products don't retain a high value. So you want to steer clear. They might be cheaper at that initial purchase, but then you're going to lose out on the money back when it's time to sell in the actual resale space. And then I guess I can talk a little bit about how we as parents can impact contributing to the circular economy when shopping. So, you know, we have these tips we have a blog called The Squawk, and we're constantly posting articles on like how to take proper care of your baby gear to maximize resale value, how to shop resale smartly and be kind of that informed shopper and make great decisions that are, you know, good overall. So our top few points are: do not be swayed by brand and be open to discovery. So on a marketplace like Rebelstork, there's so many amazing brands that we get that oftentimes you don't see necessarily in mass market stores. And that's kind of the beauty of the business, is that you're getting all of these really cool items that are being listed from parents across North America, that you're going to come across things that you maybe didn't even hear about or you didn't notice, but they're cool and they're on trend. And, you know, to be open to that discovery and to try something new, I think is a great way to contribute to the circular economy. The chances of you finding the exact item that you're looking for in the exact condition at the exact price that you're willing to spend is a little bit like finding a needle in a haystack. So, you know, really having an open mind. I think the second major tip that we have is enjoying the thrill of snagging a great deal. So keeping an eye out for things that you may need down the road. So true resale shoppers, they have a plan and they're in no rush, but they've planned out what it is that they're needing, so that they can maximize the deal, the savings, but also not miss out on the opportunity because you don't know when you're going to find it. It could be tomorrow it's listed on the site. It could be next month it's listed on the site. So a perfect example of this would be, it is cold in Canada in the winter. You know that you're going to need a stroller muff. You know that you're going to need a car seat cocoon. You can treat yourself to those warm muffs that go on your stroller. And if you see the deal and it's an amazing deal now, like get it before it's gone, because the chances of the price being as good in season, the demand is higher, so the price goes up. So it's important to kind of map out and plan out, especially those seasonal items. If you know that your kid is going to need a scooter, like map that out and look for it in the fall, because in the spring, summer, it's going to be harder to find them. Good deals do not last long on Rebelstork. The second or the third hint would be to look for investment items. So this kind of goes back to utilizing Rev. Always consider the potential resale of an item prior to purchasing. So really investing in items that you know will retain its value, so that it's not money wasted when it comes time to sell. The fourth would be keeping a close eye on new arrivals. So on a marketplace, on Rebelstork, we have hundreds of new items arriving daily. A lot of times you don't even see them. They're sold so fast. So, I think we loaded up a bunch of Love Every open box SKUs on Friday before the holiday weekend, and within 2 hours, all of them were gone. So it's important to constantly be checking new arrivals because they're listed daily and the site is refreshing all the time. So it's exciting. It's also can be stressful. So, when it's gone, it's gone. So we would encourage that. And then the last tip to, really being a savvy resale shopper is to join the community. So our community is called the Flock. And by joining the Flock, it's free. You just sign up with your email. You get access to all of the amazing promos, all of the deals, all of the new information, new arrivals every Monday, go out at 6 a.m. Like, it's so exciting, and you can save even more on top of the already reduced prices. Right now, we're doing a 20% off Earth Week sale, and it's like 20% off already reduced prices on Overstock and Open Box. You can't find deals like this. It's pretty exciting. And our Flock gets that email first thing in the morning. So they're on the site, able to scour up and snag the best deals on the sale. But as I say, new things are coming all the time. So that's really it. I would love to answer any of your questions.
Thank you so much. That was very insightful. And I personally learned a lot about the circular economy and all the resale value. That was very exciting. I know it's a lot, but it's very interesting to learn, and kind of looking at it from your perspective that you explained is interesting, and kind of, I don't know, I really found that interesting. I don't have kids yet, but one day I'll definitely use this knowledge. So I know right now we do have some kind of tech related questions we can start with, but for everyone else, if you have general questions for Emily, please just write them in the chat, or you can use the Q&A as well. So just a quick tech question. I tried doing a quote to sell products. However, the next button on the website doesn't work, and the person tried on their phone and laptop.
Oh, did you want to send us a DM and we can look into that? That shouldn't be the case.
And then I do believe you already asked this. Sorry, I do believe you asked this, answered the second part of the question, but they asked, where are you located? So we can repeat that.
Yeah, you can shop for product on the website all across Canada and the United States. In terms of our selling service, if you have gear that you want picked up and sold with us, we operate in most of Ontario, so Ontario, Canada, most of British Columbia, and then most recently, as of last week, in New York and Brooklyn.
Very exciting. So this is another tech related question. What if you can't find the model listed on Rev?
Yeah, so sometimes it's hard to know or remember what model you purchased. So usually what you can do is, if you can't find the model, you can put in something that you think it is, and then you can always DM or send a message to our sellers link, and they'll solve it on the back end for you. But for the most part, yeah, there's new models being added. There's 10,000 models in there right now, but new models are being added into the algorithm daily. So if we don't have it, let us know and we can get it in there.
Perfect. All right, another question. Does this take into account if you only use the item for one child versus more than one child?
No. So that really would fall under the condition. So you could use, I mean, kudos to you if you've had multiple children use a stroller and it's still in excellent condition. I mean, that's the golden standard, right? So really you can pick based on the condition that would take into account, but it's not based on how many children have used the item.
Wonderful. Is there a minimum value for what you sell?
What do you mean a minimum value?
Oh, so you mean do you want to sell
what's
a baby bottle for $10?
Oh, so we only do gear. We don't do anything that is apparel related. So we don't do sleep sacks. We don't do like anything clothing or accessories. We have listed bottle sets as long as they're open box or overstock. There's some safety and health reasons that we choose which categories we sell. Like we won't allow used car seats on the site just due to safety and legality issues. But for the most part, almost everything is accepted.
Wonderful. Are there times of the year during which your website would offer the biggest sales? And then they said, I noticed it's currently 20% off for Earth Week.
Every day. Like I feel like Rebelstork is the best deal in town. Obviously I'm biased, but every day. So every day items are up to 80% off. There's oftentimes extras on top of that. There's a first order discount. So if you sign up for the flock, you get a promo code to get an additional 10% off your first purchase. Right now we're doing a 20% off overstock and open box promo on top of the already discounted deal, as our way to encourage people to shop the circular economy during Earth Week. So yeah, I mean, the deals are happening, but the best way to stay on top of it is to join the flock and be on the emails, because there's emails almost every day with like certain things that are extra promo or whatnot.
Amazing. And for all of those wondering how to sign up for the flock, I'm sure we'll include a direct link to it when we send out the follow-up email. And just so everyone knows, we will send out this presentation and the whole webinar for everyone to view again if you had to miss a few moments or just want to watch in more detail. I think that is all the questions I have for now. Does anyone else have any questions before we take care for the day? Oh, I
loved this comment. Not a question, but thank you so much. This was great. Never would have considered selling my stuff between kids. It's so funny because one of the things that we talk about here at the company is how, like, if you think of your baby gear depreciating like a car, like you would never park a car in your driveway and be like, well, I know I'm not going to drive it for 2 years, but I'm just going to leave it here outside to depreciate. But for some reason, as parents, we think that way with baby gear, but it's just losing its value. So it is better. It's a better financial decision to sell it. And then when the time comes to either rebuy resale or to, use those earnings to purchase the newer technology, because then the depreciation is less. So.
Yeah, I agree with that completely. It's so nice to kind of go into all of these big purchases with like a strategic mindset, knowing that you're going to do your best to maintain the quality and really treat it, as you said, like a car or any other kind of large scale purchase.
Exactly.
I do have another one here. I may have missed this. Is there something I am specifically looking for? Is there a way to request or be put on a wait list?
So unfortunately, not at this time. There is a wish list, but it's not matching the supply and the demand. So you can add it to your wish list so that you don't have to, if you want to think about something, although I would not recommend when the deal is the deal, stuff flies. But there is that opportunity, but yeah, for right now, no.
Okay. A few more questions here. I'm thinking stroller attachments for attaching car seats or bassinets. What would this item be listed under in the retail section?
It would be stroller accessories, I believe.
Stroller accessories. Another question here. I think I missed it, but what is the sales commission?
So it's a sliding commission scale, and it really depends on you make a higher earning, the higher the resale item is. So for example, if let's take a snoo. So there's certain key SKUs that if you sell those items, you can make 80% of your earnings. And then it goes down from there. And it's all based on price bucket. So that again, like also like when you're thinking about making your initial purchases, like you're going to make not only more money back because the item retains its value, but then you're going to make the higher commission selling it, the better the gear is that you buy initially. If that makes sense.
Yes, it definitely does. Thank you so much. I think that's all the questions we have today. I really appreciated your presentation and thank you for taking your time to speak with us today. I found that very insightful and we have some very nice comments from our hosts, from our guest as well. Lots
you.
of thank yous.
And shoot us an email. Like, we have this amazing customer care team. We have this amazing seller concierge team. I can answer some questions, but if any other questions that you guys have, like, we have a whole team dedicated to this, and a lot of them are moms and millennial parents like us. And so it's kind of nice because it's they're living it too. They're living it with us. So it's exciting.
Amazing. Well, thank you so much. I really appreciate it. And thank you all to our guests for all your participation today. That was really great.
Thank you very much. Bye.
Bye, everyone. Take care. Have a good day.